Hello, peers, and welcome to Full
Full
Sail
sail
Ahead
ahead.
podcast. I'm your host, Kassan Jones.
And I'm your co-host, Bethany Erickson. We're students here at Full Sail University, currently enrolled in the music business degree program.
Today, we'll be explaining the reasoning behind the creation of copyright law.
So tell me, Kaz, do you know any benefits or incentives? Like, what's the economic reason for copyright law?
Well, the reasoning behind the creation of copyright law is to protect original works, including but not limited to movies, musical compositions, books, sound recordings, and anything else that's original.
Yeah, so let's go over the four types of intellectual properties that there are. So there's patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets.
Mhm. Right. So patents are the type of intellectual property that gives the owner legal right to exclude others from making or using those inventions.
Okay.
There are two type of categories. The typical categories is utility patents and design patents.
And utility patterns are a 20-year to the date of the patent, correct?
Right, and then a design patent is for 15 years from the date of filing the patent application.
And does that follow under the trade secret? Or it's like an alternative, correct?
I was just going to say that the
Okay.
trade secret is an alternative to the patent, and a secret used by a business that gives a business a competitive advantage.
Oh, okay. Right. So then a trademark, let's move on to that. So a trademark is like any word or name or symbol or device or any combination of those that is used by a person to identify or distinguish a person's goods, where the trade secret is like the actual process, right?
Right, right,
Okay, cool. And then, like, let's just define copyright, which is the current copyright statute expands for the protection of all original works to the authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression. Now, for me, this would be considered works of the authorship that is currently including like literary works, musical works, dramatic works, like you said, movies,
right.
graphics. So,
Well, now that we've covered the four main types of intellectual properties, I think we should identify some works that are still copyright examples.
all right, I have one.
Let's
So,
see it.
I was talking about J.K. Rowling in class recently, and the Harry Potter series, and how they've been involved in a significant number of copyright disputes over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most notable instances was the case of R.J. Rowling and Warner Brothers versus that independent publisher based in Michigan. It was RDR Books. And the lawsuit was over a reference guide created by a school librarian. And what I found funny was that even though RJ Rowling absolutely praised this librarian for this online guide he made, when the publishing company RDR wanted to actually publish a printed form for profit, that's when Rowling was like, hey, it's a great idea. But collectively, this is a copyright infringement. So in
Ah,
2008, yeah, like the judge ruled in favor of Rowling, obviously. And even though it was a great idea, but she still needed that cut.
right. So, do you feel that J.K. Rowling, his work, is a public domain?
Yes and no. It's hard for me to really say because it's not like a free copyright where it's past the 70-year mark and it's free for I cannot write a story about Harry Potter, right?
Right.
But I feel that I can go to amusement park and enjoy. I can buy the wand and the candles and stuff like that. So they have it to the domain or available, but I don't see that anybody can really capitalize on the story itself just yet, if that makes
So,
sense.
so basically, you could be a part of the story, but you can't create your own.
Or maybe you can enjoy the merch from the story. It's
Right.
available in ways to enjoy, but I don't feel that it's going to be quite some time before it's available to the public. You know, I do feel that it should be continued to be protected because of all of the society's contributed ideas to it. It could be changed. And
Right.
Right now, like, let's be honest, when Harry Potter came out, it was basically like a pop culture movement and moment in film. And it's
Right.
very much happening today. Like, there's amusement rides, for crying out loud. Like,
It was a big deal.
yeah. And I just think that type of intellectual property, if it is acknowledged, it needs to be protected because it's tangible profit right now still.
I agree.
So do you have any other examples that are maybe more public to the domain or any of your own?
So A.A. Milne's The House of Pooh Corner, it's an international work. They will retire or enter Tigger into the public domain this year. He'll be joining every other cast member, like Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore.
Wow.
And however,
what does this mean?
So even though those characters are going into the public domain, the original characters that are copyright by Disney, those will remain protected by Disney.
Okay. But the other ones are available just for you to, like, say if we wanted a backstory on Tigger, are we allowed to now make up our own version, you're saying?
Well, not make up our own version, but definitely get creative with it. You can reprint the original book without having to pay anyone for the story and sell physical copies.
Wow. That's crazy. That's how old it is.
Yeah. I grew up on Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, me too. I wonder how Disney's version, their characters are able to remain copyrighted, but then the actual characters are available, you're saying, to the public domain?
Right. So I feel that because it's a kind of like a spin-off of the original Winnie the Pooh, that's what gives it the leeway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. It's interesting. So do you feel that these classic stories being back in the public domain, is it in the best interest of the author and also society at large?
As far as the author goes, I do believe that it kind of takes away from the author. Yeah. But as far as the public goes, it gives them the ability to create their own story, because I don't know if you've seen, they're creating a new Winnie the Pooh movie, which is a scarier version of Winnie the Pooh.
No, I didn't, but now you sparked my interest. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, why didn't Disney just purchase all of the catalog? I mean, they could afford it. Come on now.
That's a great question. I think it goes back to that, giving people the ability to create their own stories.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. This is definitely new and a big time in the industry. So,
right.
A lot of changes.
So we've covered the 4 types of intellectual properties that are the main reasoning behind the creation of copyright law. We've given you a couple examples here to demonstrate the impacts of copyright, patents, trademarks, and things of that nature in the business realm.
So if you'd like to learn more about this topic or bring some other ideas to the table, sign up for Full Sail Ahead's portal. That's FSAP, and stay up to date and ahead here at Full Sail University. Once again, I'm your co-host, Bethany Erickson.
And I'm your host, Kassan Jones. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay ahead.